welcome to Simple Accounting channel. This is Uttam sir. Today I have to discuss the economics. Today's content is that a specialization, factors of production and production possibility frontier. That's maybe the three chapter I have to discuss today. What is a specialization? You know, any production can be taken place manually or automation. This automation sometimes said capital intensive method of production. This is the part of a specialization. It means the total job is to be divided into small parts, and that small parts is to be done by one single worker. Doing the same work every day, that person can getting the specialized knowledge. You know, Bangladesh is the second largest of garments exporting country. Second largest of garments exporting countries. This is due to the specialization. So, division of labor mean or specialization means job is to be divided into a small parts, and that a small part is to be done by one single worker. By this way, he has to get the specialized knowledge or a specialized skill. So, maybe there are a lot of advantages of specialization. Businessman is doing business in the external environment or external factors is over there. Lot of rivals, the economics up downs. So in that environment, that businessman is to do business. So whenever you are going to do the business, then obviously price is one of the factor. So you always try to reduce the cost of production, or average cost of production need to be reduced. If you can do it, then your product price comparatively lower than your rivals. As a result, you can get the benefit, competitive benefit in the external market or external environment. So this division of labor is actually helping us doing that, reducing the cost of production. The first benefit of the specialization is that the worker getting the specialized knowledge, the worker getting expert of doing things. So it is for them. They have to be encouraged. Their productivity is to increase. So a specialized knowledge that person can gain through the specialization. Second benefit is that the training cost and the training time will be minimum, because the total job is divided into a small part, and that a small part is to be done by single person. Doing the same thing, got easily the point, and they can closing the eye do the work, because single work, single task he has to be done. So as a result, training cost and training time will be minimized. Third one, it will save a lot time for the worker. Maybe if the worker is doing job manually, what is to happen? Sometimes they have to go from this machine to that machine to another machine, or one room to another room. But here the specialization, he has to be habituated with the small tools or the same tools. So that person needless to go from one machine to another machine. So lot of time can be saved. This is another benefit of specialization. And the fourth one, the production or the productivity of the organization is to be increased. Production increase because the same person is doing the same thing. As a result, more production can be taken place by the single hours. So this is to happen for each and every worker. As a result, production is to be increased many times than before. That's why most of the organization is following the specialization or division of labor. So this is the benefit of increase the production. This is the benefit of specialization. Then due to the market rivals, lot of rivals is over there. So your production cost must be lower enough than your rivals. So this division of labor helping you to minimize the average cost of production. Sometimes it is called the economies of scale. So this specialization helping a organization to reach the economies of scale or reduce the average cost of production. So it makes the organization a competitive position in the market. Now, sixth one, that is the improve the quality of the products. Quality of the product is very important for any consumers. Consumers is to check different brands, which brand providing the better quality, they have to buy that. So this can be ensured by the division of labor, because same thing is doing by the same person. That's why he can do the job closing the eye, and it should be the flawless. So that can be happen. So the quality of the product is to be improved. Another thing is that profit for the business will be increased. What is to happen in respect of quality as well as average cost of production is declined. It means you can charge the product price comparatively lower than your rival sales. If it is happen, what is to? You see, you are charging the product price comparatively lower than your rivals, so more demand is to be created, because people always interested to have the reasonable price and the quality product. So that can be ensured by the division of labor. And finally, it is a great incentives for the shareholders or the promoters or the entrepreneur or the businessman. Why? Because their wealth of the business is to be increased. Once the business is operated smoothly and profitably, then some of the profit is to be reinvested into the business, and some of the profit is to be kept in the general reserve. So by this way, the net asset value of the share is to be increased. So it means the wealth of the share is to be increased, or wealth of the shareholder is to be increased. So this is the great incentives. Those who are establishing the business, now they are happy enough. Their wealth is increasing. It means the share price of this organization is to be increased as well. So the shareholder is to be benefited for that. So those are the benefit of the specialization. But some few demerits is over there. Few limitation is over there. First limitation or demerits is that monotony or boredom. What is monotony? Doing the same thing every day. Maybe some worker is not getting comfort with it. They are interested to change, but this cannot be provided. So the monotony, sometimes some of the problem is to be arise to the worker. Another problem or criticism of division of labor is the chances of unemployed people is to increase. Unemployment. How? Division of labor is following the organization, and most of them the job is to be done through the machinery. A small worker is to be required. Once the small worker is to be required, as a result, job opportunities to be declined. So some people can be unemployed. So this is another setback for the specialization. Another thing is that loss of flexibility. Human being, their mind is always scattered. They want change, but division of labor provide never any change. What the schedule or the routine that is to be followed. As a result, worker is working some environment or the inflexible condition. So that may be sometimes tedious for the worker. Another problem is that the fourth problem, that is increase the dependency or interdependence is to increase. It means we have the garments industry, the second largest exporter we are. Here the following the division of labor. Dependency means some of the worker is finishing the job, that is to be the point of the next worker. Once some of the worker job is ended and another worker is over there, their job is to be started. So one person is dependent by another person. So this dependency is to increase. Sometimes some of the worker is absent or some of the worker is sick, then the total production process is to be collapsed. This is happening due to the specialization because some of the person is absent. So that person's job is to be influenced by the next one, but that person is not available. Problem is to be arised. And then another problem is that diseconomies of scale. What is diseconomies of scale? Maybe the production whenever it is increased, the company can reach to the economies of scale. Economies of scale is a level of production where the average cost is lowest. So the company is desperately seeking to reach that level. But maybe sometimes that is reached. But maybe the diseconomies of scale, if the production is more and continuously going to develop and continuously increasing, then time economies of scale converted into the diseconomies of scale. If your product is limited in demand in the market, then time you are using the specialization. So more production is to be taken place, but that total production cannot be absorbed by the market. So some of the goods remain unsold. This is sometimes said as diseconomies of scale. And another problem is that it discourages the multi-skill or versatile skill. Maybe some of the worker is highly skilled and multi-skilled, but the use of multi-skill is very limited in the division of labor. This is one of the problems for the specialization. Now I have to go for the factors of production. There are the 4 factors of production: land, labor, capital and organization. So I have to start with the organization. If some of the business is over there, so you have to set up some of the firm or industry or company. So this is the organization. Through that organization you have to produce something. Unless you are set up the organizations, no activities, no production is to be taken place. So that's why first of all you have to set up some of the firm or organization. So organization is first steps. Second step is the capital. What is called capital? Whenever you are going to do the business, some of the money is to be required. When the money is invested into the production process, that is called the capital. Maybe money is available to your bank. This is not capital, this is the money. But capital is then when this money is involved in production process, then the money is to be converted into the capital. So without capital, no business can be operated smoothly. So you have to manage the sufficient capital before starting the business. So you have to take into consider of that. So to the capital. Now the another factor is that labor or workers. Without having the skilled worker or semi-skilled worker, your production process cannot be augmented, cannot be increased. So sufficient worker must be required. So whatever the production you are going to be done, then for that sufficient and the special quality worker must have to be appointed, and accordingly they have to be trained up or like other things, so that that person can be skilled enough. So this worker is sometimes said the labor. So without the sufficient numbers of labor, the economic activities cannot be taken place properly. So you have to ensure sufficient worker, the skilled or unskilled, must be available in the business or not. And finally, I have to say the land. Maybe some of the business it is already set up, so this need to be operated in the open space that cannot be established. Some of the buildings, some of the factory need to be established, need to be constructed. So you have to record the land. So land is the another inevitable component of factors of production. So those are the businessmen, those are the entrepreneurs, those are the industrialists. They have to utilize these 4 factors of production in such way so that the business can operate smoothly and profitably. So this is the entrepreneur responsibility to utilize these four factors of production properly. If it is can happen, then and the business objective easily be attained. Now I have to discuss the production possibility frontier. What is called the production possibility frontier? This is the graphical representation of combination of products which can be produced by the scarce resources. None of the country of the world they have the sufficient resources. Somewhat they have to be face the scarcity. Scarcity means inadequate resources. But it is for any country's government. Their government always see their citizens are happy enough. So this happiness need to be met by the government. So government has to be taken some of the initiatives so that what is demanded by the people, what is demanded by the citizen, that need to be produced. So the production possibility frontier or production possibility curve, the same thing. This is the graphical representation. Through the scarce resource, the government try to produce some of the goods. Maybe the countries needed two type of goods. One is the machinery goods, another is the agricultural goods or necessary goods. So maybe these two elements, these two goods must be produced by the country so that you can satisfy all the demands of the society. So this can be, this combination, maybe the machinery goods and the consumers goods or agricultural goods, is to be highlighted some of the graph, which graph is said as a production possibility frontier or production possibility curve. Let me discuss. Look at the board. Some of the graph is like this. Some of the line is to be given, the horizontal line, and this is some of the lines also be done. So this is the production possibility curve. Production PPA, production possibility frontier or production possibility curve. So this is the line. Here, this line, some of the factors, some of the production is to be highlighted. Maybe here is some of the point. This point is A point. Some of the point is over here. This point is B point, and some of the point is over here. This is one the C point. So this is the combination of production is to be highlighted in the production possibility curve. Left hand side, maybe it is the machinery goods, and right hand side it is the consumers goods or agricultural goods, which is created by the society. This is to be different in different country. Maybe the developed country, maybe the developing country. We have to be categorized two ways: developed country and developing country. We are the developing country. The Bangladesh, the developing country. United States is the developed country. Japan is the developed country. Germany is the developed country. Their society needs and our society's needs is the different one. So that depends according to the status of the country, developed or developing. Maybe the developed country, they are always given more importance to produce the machinery goods or manufacturing goods. But we are the developing country. We are not technologically advanced. That's why we are giving more importance to the agricultural goods or the consumers goods, which is the basically fundamental goods we are producing. We have such type of skill. But the developed country, they are advanced in respect of technology. That's why their demand of the society is different than us. So now over here, maybe this is the production possibility curve. So this is the combination of production. In this phase, the manufacturing production, manufacturing and the consumers production. Consumers or agricultural product is the manufacturing product. If we choose this one, This one means over here. So this is the point. This is not a single element, the combination of elements. Here in the left hand side maybe it is O, Y, O, X origin side. So here the manufacturing production. So if we choose this one, A means you have to produce this amount of manufacturing production, but this one is come like this over here. So this point, this is the consumer's production, the fundamental goods they have to produce. So A is the combination of manufacturing production as well as consumer's production. If it is choose the B, it depends country to country. If you choose the B's, so this line is to be like this. Point is over here. So you have to produce up to this level, B level, up to this level, O to this, and this is the manufacturing production. And in respect of B over here, it is to be make a line over here. So this come to over here. So O X line we have to produce this one up to this. So this is B is the another combination to produce the manufacturing products as well as consumers product. If we choose the C, then it also highlights the manufacturing process. So this can be draw a line over here. So it can come over here. So O to this is the machinery production or manufacturing production. But the consumers production is more over here. You need to make a line over here up to this. So is O X level, O X line, you have to produce this. So more consumers product is to be produced over here. If you choose the C one, but less amount of manufacturing production. So this is the scenario, maybe B or C, the developing countries scenario. But if the A is the developed countries scenario, because the developed country is technologically advanced. They have the modern technological elements, device. So that's why they have to given more importance in manufacturing production or machinery production, but less importance to the consumers production. This is the production possibility curve. Sometimes this is the normal situation. Whatever the resource available to you as a country leader, so you have to be utilize your scarce resource in such a way so that the social demand you can meet properly. So if your country is needed more agricultural products, obviously you have to give more importance to produce agricultural product or consumers product. So here in Bangladesh, obviously we are interested to produce more consumers product, because lot of people, particularly a small territory, a small land we have. So through that land, lot of population is over here. That need to be maintained. That's why government is giving more importance to producing the consumers product. So obviously Bangladesh is to be choose the level B. Here the manufacturing production is like this, and agricultural production like this. So big amount of consumers product is to be produced by Bangladesh. This is the typical production possibility curve or production possibility frontier. Maybe this production is normally be influenced by the two items. One is the production conducive and congenial. Two elements, two of the item which is said the conducive and congenial economic atmosphere. Conducive and congenial economic atmosphere. Sometimes some of the production possibility curve or some of the point is over here. Over here, some of the production possibility curve. So another this means production possibility is normally this. This is the original curve. But here some of the point it is to be said as Y. And sometimes some of the production possibility curve like this. Here, some of the point. This is the X. This is Y and this is the X. What is the significance of it? If see, this is the Y. It means this is the normal production possibility curve, normal production possibility frontier. Sometimes you see over there, some of the point is outside the production possibility curve. If your country is following, or if you have prevailing with a conducive and congenial atmosphere, the economic atmosphere is prevailing, then time what is the production possibility curve? Then time, if you utilize the factors of production properly, then some of the production can be increased beyond this level. So another production possibility curves we can be drawn touching this like this. This is another production possibility. This is the original production possibility curve, but here the another production possibility is touching the Y. It means if your country there is the conducive and congenial economic atmosphere, then time more production can be taken place by the utilizing of the factors of production properly. Then time more production can be taken place. So that is shown by this curve. Sometimes it is called the production possibility curve move outwards to right. Moves outward to right. This is move outwards to right. How it is possible? Conducive mean some of the law, some of the different type of law, the company law, partnership law, or some law. So government is making the comfortable law for the businessman. So business is to be grown. And another thing is that there is no catastrophic things or the natural disasters or the hostile civil disturbance. There is no over there. So as a result, production can be taken place more and more. So this is sometimes called the conducive and congenial economic atmosphere. If it is available, then more production can be taken place by using the factors of production properly. And sometimes you see the X. The another thing is that. So what actually means the X? X means the production possibility curves inner to left. If we make some of the curve over here like this. So this is the X point. This X point means sometimes you are suffering from the civil disturbance, and this is the chronic disastrous problem. Disaster problem may be the flood, maybe the earthquake, maybe the drought, like this, continuously happening. Lot of hurtals is taking place. So there is a lot of civil disturbance. The crime rate is increased. In that situation, the economic activities cannot be performed properly. So as a result, if the frequent hurtal is taking place in the country, so the worker cannot come to the factory. So if the worker is not coming to the factory, how the production is to be taken place? Maybe there the flood, severe flood, or the earthquake like this. Lot of industry, lot of factories collapse to the dust or collapse to the ground. So as a result, the factory is to be closed. So no production or less production is to be taken place. So severe economic condition, it means conducive is over here, but congenial economic atmosphere is not available. The supportive, comfortable economic environment is not available because worker is not coming to the factory. As a result, production cannot be taken place. And whatever we can do, the production is far below than that. So this is to be highlighted by X. If the conducive and congenial atmosphere is not available, then situation production possibility curve inward to left. This is the original production possibility curve. Inward to left like this. So in this situation, less production is taken place. So as a result, production possibility curve sometimes outwards to right. If the conducive and congenial atmosphere is prevailing in the country, then situation that can be taken place. But if frequent, the civil disturbance, earthquake, natural casualties like this, so as a result, the production is to be fall down. So whatever the factors of production that cannot be utilized properly, as a result, production can be curtailed, reduced. This situation is to be shown by X. So this is the another curve. So in this situation, the original curve is ABC. Now it is intersect. So sometimes it is said production possibility curve shift inside. So this is the cartel production, a small production, reduced production. So production possibility inward to left. This is called inward to left. So that all this is the production possibility frontier. So we have. So maybe we are in the emerging tiger. Sometimes someone call us the emerging tiger. Bangladesh is the emerging tiger. If you get some of the information regarding the 20 years, our GDP more or less more than 6%. This is not a matter of joke. We have the economic growth more than 6%. Persistently we are following. So we are optimistic enough. We have to do better. Since we are the specialist in respect of garments production, so we have to overcome any problem. We have to overcome. So we have to require the some of the economic planning, so that the resources available inside the country that can be properly utilized. So first of all, good governance is to be required, and some of the target is to be set up, which is sustainable target set up, and practical planning is to be done, so that economic development can be ensured, more GDP can be earned. The government is expecting the 8% growth this year, but the pandemic situation due to the COVID-19, so this cannot be happened, but it can be trust over there. Last year we have the 7.86% of growth rate, 7.86. So this year the government is expecting this to reach to the 8%, but the practical situation is there that cannot be achieved. But we are optimistic enough, because our growth rate more than, obviously it should be the more than 7%. So the good. Dear viewers, that's all for today. If the video is useful to you, please make a like and subscribe my channel. Thanks for watching. Have a nice time and goodbye.